Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while. We usually do our read along. We usually do our read along. That was my phone. I apologize. This is what happens when you work from home. Yes, but you usually see us, Steve and myself, are weekly read-alongs, and I think 2 weeks ago we shared that we are kind of dwindling down just the read-alongs because we have other initiatives that we are focusing on. But if you missed that, we will definitely direct you to other amazing organizations that are doing the read-alongs. So let us know, and we'll share those resources with you. But today, I'm super excited to have two special guests with us to talk about summer programming under COVID. We are under global pandemic, and I don't have to tell you that, but we are in lockdown. A lot of us are working from home. I'm sure you have missed, like myself, like a lot of celebrations for my loved ones, like birthdays, graduations. A lot of seniors didn't get to do that. And also now with school being out, everyone is thinking about summer programming, summer camps, and what that looks like. So I am super excited today to have RJ and Martin from After School Activities Partnership, hello, you're here, awesome. Who will tell us more about just their organizations, but also what initiatives they have coming up for the summertime. And then also I'm just eager to learn also about how you have been functioning under COVID, obviously working from home, but also trying to plan for the summer, engaging youth. So, but before all of that, if you can just introduce yourselves and tell us what you do or how long you have been with the organization.
Hi, my name is RJ Tischler. I am the debate manager for ASAP, After School Activities Partnerships. I've been working here for about 4 years now. Maybe Martin can introduce himself and then we can talk more about the organization.
Okay.
Sure. So my name is Martin Collette. I'm the director of chess programs with ASAP. I've been with ASAP since 2015. So almost, I think, coming up on my anniversary come August. I think it was like five years now.
5 years, right. Yeah. That's incredible. So your organization does amazing work. I mean, you have served over 2,500 youth, I believe, in different clubs. And that's just me looking at your website. You probably have different data that you want to share, but just tell us more about who you are as an organization and the work that you have been able to do for the past couple of years.
Yeah, ASAP, After School Activities Partnerships, we're a nonprofit that serves students K through 12 in Philadelphia. We run after-school programs. We partner with sites such as like schools, rec centers, any kind of community center to help. We help them run 4 kinds of after-school club that are all academically and socially enriching. So those types of clubs are chess, debate, drama, and Scrabble. So there's a lot that goes into that. We host free trainings, we run competitions, and just generally give guidance and support to programs around the city. All of our programs are completely free, and that the same goes for our summer programs. Martin, would you add anything else?
No, I was going to say, all of our programs are free for both students as well as like for folks that might want to run a club at their site. You know, if they're looking to do a chess club, we provide the materials, provide the training, curriculum, all those things like that to get that off the ground.
Oh, that's incredible. Before we start talking about the programs, I'm just eager to know, I guess the world shut down, I want to say at least in Philly, mid-March. How has it been for your organization and also yourself? And, I know personally we have to get really creative in our approach in engaging with our audience, but I'm just curious to know how you have pivoted with your work maybe, or have done a different approach due to COVID.
Yeah, it was a major change. A large part of the work that we do is running actual events and competitions. So all year long, we have chess tournaments, debate tournaments. We have drama performances like musicals, things like that. And obviously those all involve a lot of people from all different parts of the city coming together, right. Which was, rendered impossible. Personally, like that is my favorite part of the job, is seeing all the students and all the families from all corners of the city come together and do this amazing thing. And we weren't able to do that once we had the stay-at-home order. But we quickly got to work on finding solutions around that, ways to stay engaged with students while they were still at home.
Did you find the students being maybe missing you guys, because there's so much that like in-person work that you do, like to what you just spoke about? Like, how did you have to explain that to and what's the age range that you serve? Maybe that should be the first question.
Sure. So I think for different initiatives it can be a little different. For chess, it's definitely K through 12.
Okay.
I know some initiatives they skew a little younger, debate skews a little older. For me, at least, chess is one of those things that like it's nothing like playing over the board. That's the best way to play. But online play is something that is available, and I noticed that like kind of once people got settled into it, there were students that wanted to like challenge me to chess online. So as RJ had said, like the event is kind of the best part of the job. Getting to see the kids doing this activity and being so passionate about what they do. So it's kind of cool getting beat by some kids that's online, because I know that like even though they're not able to play it on the board, they're engaged. They still love this thing, even if we're not doing it in person. So I welcomed as many challenges as I could take on. I lost more than I'd probably like to admit.
It's funny.
I think I did okay. So and I definitely I missed kind of hanging out with the kids. Like the kids are great. They're a lot of fun. They kind of make you remember like why you go and do all the stuff you're doing to make this happen. Like when you do the event, you kind of see that and appreciate it more.
I'm just curious, do you find them being more engaged online versus in person? Like, have you seen an increase or decrease engagement wise?
It's a tough question to answer. I would say for those that we can kind of connect with, it can be still engaging. But a big challenge is kind of connecting. I think that one of the primary ways that we have connected with students is through club leaders and teachers and site directors, things like that. And if they have limited access to the internet, then they might have limited access to their coach, which means they have limited access to the stuff that we do. So for some students, yes, I've been able to connect and they seem engaged, and I can see that they're like still doing stuff at home online. For other ones, it's a lot more challenging. It's hard to get in touch with them. It's hard to connect. And so it's hard to say, how engaged they are or not. I don't know if RJ, if you had similar feelings. You have a lot more older kids too, so maybe it's a little different.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that like, ASAP, one of our main priorities is equity, and that involves us prioritizing bringing these programs to students, who don't have as many resources in their schools and their communities. And with COVID, that presented a brand new challenge because there were lots of students who didn't have access to internet, who didn't have access to video cameras, to laptops that could be used all day, or maybe their families with only one laptop, but they have several children who need them per day. So we tried to work really fast to reach out to club leaders and partners to see how we could sort of bridge that gap and find ways to work with them. And it took time, but certainly that was one of the major barriers to achieving one of our main goals. But we're looking forward to this summer, being able to continue that work and make that gap as small as possible.
Absolutely. And I'm happy that you brought it up, because when we talk about engagement, I think with the shift that just happened with everyone working from home or, going to school virtually, that was the biggest challenge that we saw all across. Just the level, the lack of connection that people had, and lack of the things that we take for granted, because some of us have it and some other people struggle. And I was very curious to see how, one, school-wise, students attending school, but also continue to stay connected with people, mentors, or program providers like you guys, and that's so important to have that social aspect of it, to see familiar faces who talk to you on a normal basis, because they used to see you after school on a normal basis. So I agree, and I think that's something we all figuring out as we go, how to help in that area.
Yeah, I had a high school coach that was, I had been talking with him, and he said that he wanted to kind of get Chess Club up and running. He didn't know how successful it was going to be just from his experience getting students to do school at home. But he said that he said, I'm going to offer it on Thursdays and we'll see who shows up. And even if it's one, that's a start. And he said that, the first time it was just one, and then it was two, but he realized that like once they got on, they didn't realize how much they missed that social interaction element. And it was something that once they realized, hey, this is pretty fun, even though if it's maybe kind of awkward to do, they enjoyed it and they kept coming back. So we're hoping that's something that continues to kind of grow over the summer.
Yeah, and we saw that in debate too, is that like the students, when we were able to organize some informal like events. Usually the students are used to like in person, like we have a specific topic and they have to prepare for it. And that just wasn't possible with all their school demands and all the distractions right now. So what we did is we organized some events where it was really informal. It was like, let's just all get together. We'll brainstorm some topics to do impromptu. And they found that so fun. They were able to connect with kids their age. They were able to, debate things like best genre of music and like which astrological sign is the best. So we didn't have the pressures of just relying on solely like policy things. And they really loved just being able to connect and to engage in debate the way they love, but in the sort of easiest, most fun way possible.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing those stories. So let's talk about the programs that for this summer, and tell us more about the planning aspect of it, and also if you launched any of different programs recently, and tell us more in descriptive way what they are.
So we made the decision to move our debate and chess camps online this year. And with our presentation, we'll go through all the details of that. We made our activities possible to translate to in-person too, because I know there are a lot of summer camps that would like to use some of our curriculum, but still in person. So we made that possible. Scrabble did a big focus on that, as activities that are both possible to do virtually or in person.
Okay. And has registration started yet? Yeah,
registration has started for our chess and debate camps. And Scrabble, I believe, there's a registration on a club basis. So for our chess camp and debate camps, it's like individual signups.
Awesome. So I think we're ready for the presentation, unless you have any questions.
Yeah, I'm ready if you're ready, Martin.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Awesome. So go.
Okay, so I can kick things off. So first I'll talk about our Summer Debate Academy. So this is our 7th annual Summer Debate Academy. And this year, for the first time, we'll be doing it completely online. The camp is going to run from July 27th through August 7th, about 2 weeks. It's 10 days total, Monday through Friday. I'll sort of talk a little bit more about the goals of the camp and what it's actually going to look like.
Okay.
So first thinking why debate? Debate is an activity that helps improve students' public speaking, their writing, their reading skills. It boosts their critical thinking and confidence. A big result of that is preparation for high school and college. It's a fun activity that expands all these skills. And we will be doing a specific kind of speech and debate this year called original oratory. So original oratory is just a name for this activity where students choose their own topic on their own. They research it, and then they write a speech about like 5 to 10 minutes long. And at this camp, they're going to be led by expert coaches. Coaches are going to break them into small groups to do games and instructional lessons where they can learn the skills of original oratory and actually how to craft an original oratory speech. So there's some forms of debate where you're with a partner or you're debating directly with one student one-on-one, but original oratory is it's a performance. It's where you speak persuasively, with humor, with different rhetorical devices. You give a solo speech that is supposed to be compelling to an audience. So what I include in this presentation is an example video, because I think it says a lot. This is a speech from a high schooler named Halima at the national championship. She's a former national champion, and this speech is about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the children's show, and about how it's a really interesting approach. It's about how that children's show actually gives viewers the tools to combat racism, violence, transphobia, and other forms of hate. So I do want to give a content warning that this is brought up briefly in the videos. But it's a really good example of how she uses humor and pop culture to talk about something really important in a persuasive way. So I have just a couple of clips that are short from her 10-minute speech. And just want any family members that are watching this, just imagine your child giving a speech similar to this, something that's important to them that is relevant to things that they connect to. So this will be the first clip. Just waiting for load. All right, here's the intro.
Children's television should not be confusing. Elmo, what creature is he? Dora the Explorer. Where are her parents? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. No confusion there.
So for the next clip, she continues.
Mr. Rogers broke all the rules. He taught lessons on love, acceptance, and understanding. I worry, though, that we don't live in that same neighborhood. We no longer ask, won't you be my neighbor? But instead, state, you can't be my neighbor. Hatred is woven deep in the history of American life. And still today, whether it is swastikas spray painted on North Carolina State University's campus just last month, or the murder of 2 Black transgender women right here in Dallas within the last 3 weeks, hatred is real, and it's close. We don't understand how hate operates, and that's a problem.
So that's a really amazing speech. Like I said, it's a great example of how to use pop culture and humor to introduce an idea and then delve into what's really important about it, what's really urgent about it. So that's what we want to teach our students this year. It's a new form of speech and debate we're teaching that's going to be really successful on the virtual platform because students will be able to work on their own pacing. They'll be able to check in with coaches during instructional hours and office hours. So they'll have group activities, but also one-on-one attention as well. And we're really excited to hear from students, like, what is important to them and what do they want to talk about? We're not assigning the topics. We're going to be able to hear what speaks to them and what their perspective is on it. So we're really excited to teach that style.
I love that.
Me too. So for the details of the schedule of the camp, it's running from July 27th to August 7th. It's Monday through Friday, so just 10 days total. The camp is probably going to run 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're trying to talk to families. That way we pick like the optimal times. The good thing about a virtual platform is that we can be flexible with that. But generally, we want to start sort of later morning because we know students are maybe used to sleeping in right now, and then conclude, mid to early afternoon. Like all ASAP programs, this camp is completely free. It's going to be completely online via video chat, probably Google Meets, and it's tailored for students in grades 6th through 12th. And we'll have sort of like a separate middle school and high school section. So if you'd like to register, you can email me at debate@phillyasap.org, or you can visit our website about our Summer Debate Academy. It has all the details. It has a link to that video example. I really recommend watching all 10 minutes of it. And with any other inquiries, you can reach out to me. My name is RJ, or our debate coordinator, Elijah Wilson.
And we'll put your contact information in the comment section so people have it.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Lula.
Awesome. So I'm going to speak a little bit about the Girls Summer Chess Camp. Sorry for the technical thing. I wasn't sure if I'm going to be able to adjust the slides or not. I missed that.
Yeah, Martin, would you prefer?
Yeah, that'd be great. I just wasn't sure if you were doing it or not. But
Okay, so I can stop my screen and then you can start yours up.
actually, RJ, since you have them up, do you want to just go ahead and do that?
Yeah, I can click through them.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about
No
that.
problem.
And we'll put the link in the comment section as well if you just joined us and you are excited to learn more about the debate. program, please, we'll put it in the comment section where you can go to the website. I believe we did share the website. So if you scroll up to the comment section, you'll see the first comment that we put. So click on that link and it will take you straight to the website, and you'll find out more information about the program, but also an opportunity to register if you're interested.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Girls Summer Chess Camp. This is something that we are entering our 5th year of doing. The chess camp was originally started as part of our efforts to increase the number of female participants we have in our programs. So for those that aren't necessarily familiar with the chess community, it's got a bit of a reputation for being a very heavily male-dominated sphere, and it has like a long history of trying to grow that number, but having significant challenges, especially with scholastic players, of getting that retention to stick, especially as kind of students get a little older, middle school, high schools, when they tend to drop out. So in our conversations with coaches, as well as students, one of the things that we learned was that a big part of it is that girls will sometimes be the only student in their club that's female, and they look around and they just see a bunch of boys, and maybe it's not the end of the world at first, but as time goes on, they see all these other activities they might be able to join when they hit middle school, and there's other girls in it, and they think, well, maybe I'll try that out because there are people that look like me in those clubs. So one of the ways that we aim to kind of address that problem is showing girls that there are other girls throughout the city of Philadelphia that love and play chess just as much as they do. So we started doing the camp. This is going to be our 5th year, like I said. And it's been growing, ever since. And a lot of the kids that go to the camp will, play in tournaments throughout the year, and they will see each other a lot. And it was really encouraging to see like students that met each other for the first time at camp show up at a chess tournament, and they're with their club and their teammates, but then they see a girl that they met at camp, and then they like run over and like, oh hey, I remember you from camp, and they'll go over chess games together. It was something that clearly was bringing students together and kept them kind of together in some way over the course of the year. So if you want to go to the next slide, RJ. So obviously doing such a camp in person is just not in the cards for us this year. But we wanted to continue that on even in an online way. So what we have done before, we would have expert chess coaches come together to teach different age levels, skill levels, that kind of thing, and have girls kind of separated into those groups. This year, we're going to be doing something somewhat similar, but doing it online via video chat. We're going to be bringing coaches as well as chess experts such as grandmasters, things like that, as well as some of our chess alumni who graduated from the program, who are maybe just out of high school or in college, that might be a little bit more relatable to students that are still in their K through 12 career, to talk to the girls about chess stuff, openings, end games, things like that, but also to talk a little bit about kind of what it means to be a girl in a male-dominated sport, and how that affected them, and how they perceive themselves in that sphere. So a big lesson outside of the chess is that idea of like female encouragement and empowerment. That just because you might have an experience where you're the only girl and you go to a tournament and you hear these things that can be hurtful, like, oh, I'm playing a girl, so this should be an easy win, or things like that. Those are things that are not true, that those are based on like discrimination and stereotypes, and that there are plenty of strong chess players that are also female. Jen Shahade is one of our longtime ASAP partners, and she'll show up to chess tournaments. She's a women's grandmaster, and she'll play like 40 kids all at the same time, and it like blows their mind. They're like, wow, this is a female chess player who's playing all of us at the same time, and she only maybe draws one game. She doesn't even lose a game. Like, that's amazing. And it's something that is encouraging for them to see, because a lot of times in chess, they might see a lot of grandmasters, but they all tend to be, just older men, or in Twitch streams, maybe it's like, just kind of a really aggressive, rough guy that's like talking a lot of trash. And it's a bit of a turnoff for them. So exposing them to some of these strong, chess players that can be female role models for them is part of what we want to do with the camp. The other part is, kind of the community aspect of it. It's great seeing role models, but it's also great seeing peers. And with the camp moving online, we thought about how can we kind of replicate the idea of like bringing kids together from all parts of the city and having them be able to interact. So the idea is that we're going to have, the first half of our camp meetings are going to be all virtual through video chat. But then we're going to kind of transition in the second part where we play like a friendly tournament. The platform we use is chesskit.com, which is a sister site of chess.com, which maybe a lot of people have heard of. Chesskit.com is used because it provides a lot of lessons, puzzles, but more importantly, it also provides a very safe platform in which kids can play chess against other kids and not have to worry about online predators or anything like that. There's safety and privacy features that are built into it. So we'll be doing that second portion. All the kids that participate in our camp will get a gold membership for ChessKit, so they can have unlimited access to everything that it offers. And we're going to set up tournaments that take place just after the instructional period so that the girls can continue on the video chat, like on one half of their screen, and then play their games on the other. And, they can kind of, just like in a club setting, they can play their games, take it seriously, but also have fun and like chit chat with each other. We expect that, like, if we have a special guest like a grandmaster come in, she can do commentary, like, you're watching, a sport or something online, one of these grandmaster matches. We would hope that, like, Jen could kind of, oh, wow, that was a great, we're going with the Sicilian defense here. This is really interesting, to give the kids like the feeling like, wow, like I'm just like those professional chess players that are like doing crazy fast blitz games online. Like, this is really cool. And we wanted the kids to have that time to interact with each other so they can, form bonds that might be a little bit more difficult to form online as opposed to in person. So that's why we wanted to continue that chat aspect while the games are going on, as opposed to just kind of playing a faceless kind of random person online. Being able to see like, oh, hey, this is the person I'm playing against. She's in this little corner of my screen here. That's really cool. They can talk about their game as they're playing it. If you want to go to the next slide, RJ. So with our camp, one of the things that feedback-wise that we got, the girls' camp does tend to skew a little younger. We have had in the past a lot of elementary school kids, middle school kids that participated in the camp. And we understand that one of the challenges for a lot of teachers was maintaining involvement, engagement with those kids, especially on an online platform. So one of the ways that we kind of shifted our way of doing things was going from a week-long 6 hours a day camp to doing it once a week in a smaller kind of time frame. Still spreading it out so that we have kind of time to grow and make it something that is a regular thing that kids tune in to do. But understanding that maybe a kindergartner can only learn so much online before they start to get antsy and maybe have some attention problems. So with that being said, we're going to do it once a week, starting on July 9th. This slide actually says July 6th, but that was we had to change that. So we're going to start on July 9th and go all the way to August 13th. They'll be once a week on Thursdays. Similar to debate, we're looking at the 11 to 2 p.m. time frame. Kind of trying to be flexible with both families as well as if we have special guests who come in to give them a little flexibility. One of the great things about doing this online is that now we potentially could have guests that might not have been able to attend before because they had to physically be in Philadelphia. Now since it's all online, they can join us wherever they are. Some of that might mean time zone stuff though. So that we're trying to be flexible and mindful of what that might entail. In addition to the video stuff, we're going to be doing a lot of our instruction on chesskid.com. Like I said, that includes lessons that can be done as a group, as well as things that can be done on their own pace. As I said, it is like a kid-friendly site, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's an easy site. Kids that are just learning, there's plenty of stuff for them to do, but there are a lot of lessons and puzzles that are challenging even for an experienced chess player. They tune in, they're like, oh, I'm in 10th grade, I've been playing for years, I'm an expert, I know what I'm doing, but they can find puzzles and lessons that are very challenging for them. There's still plenty to learn, even with it being Chess Kid. As we said before, all of our camps, all of our programming is free, so that includes the Chess Kid memberships. We don't want that to be a barrier for any of our students that are interested in participating. And it's also going to be open to all female chess players, grades K through 12. So if they're interested, we'd love to have them join. You can go to the next slide, RJ. So if you are looking for more information or would like to register, you can contact me directly at my information here. And for other inquiries or just more information generally, we also have Liz Forrest, who's our chess coordinator, and her information is there as well.
And we'll put your information in the comment section, just like RJ's.
Awesome.
Oh, it's there. Thank you, Steve.
Awesome. All right, well, so the final thing we can talk about is the ASAP Scrabble summer programming. Our great Scrabble manager, Caroline Henley, has designed 6 weeks of curriculum, 6 weeks of word skill themes for students who can participate in Scrabble programs, literacy, word game type programs. So we have the 6 listed here. They'll be rolled out weekly. And some examples of the type of engagement that students will have. They're going to be instructional videos featuring our Scrabble expert, master Scrabble player, Johnny Scrabble. So he's a Philly hometown hero, a really big personality, and one of the longest serving volunteers and consultants with ASAP. He's really fun, really great club leader. And his videos are going to be a great way for kids to engage and learn more about Scrabble. There'll be digital handouts as well that clubs and families can access via our Google Drive, which I'll talk more about. And those will also include games, different activities, and Caroline will also be sharing out weekly citywide challenges if you sign up for her weekly newsletter. I think the structure is going to be that puzzles will be shared out on Monday, and they'll need to be submitted by Friday, and there will be prizes based on who completed them most successfully. So here's just a look at the Google Drive, how it's laid out. That is publicly accessible, where people can find all 6 weeks of the summer Scrabble programming. So you'll have curriculum and instructions in there, and links to videos and other games. And here's a look at what some of the videos that Johnny Scrabble have been making will look like. So it looks like he's playing on a virtual Scrabble board, and you can follow along sort of like the decisions he makes, the different options you can walk through, and how you play through the game. All of sort of the Scrabble gaming and this engagement with literacy games builds literacy skills for students. Anagrams, different word construction are all shown to develop language skills. So it's really powerful for students of all ages. There are activities for students as young as kindergarten that they're not exactly on the Scrabble board yet, but there are some simpler games and literacy activities that they can engage with. And then it can be really powerful all the way up through middle school and high school, all the way to 12th grade, where you're playing on the board, learning some more sort of complicated strategies, and really pushing the limits of your language skills. This is a look at the sort of weekly competitions that will be shared out via Caroline's newsletter. So this a specific example is going to be on a Google form where you can enter in your answers to all the challenges, and then you'll be able to win prizes in your age group. Like I mentioned at the top, our programs are activities that are virtual. Most of them can be conducted in person as well. We know there's going to be a lot of summer programming this year around the city that they're going to try to do some social distance in-person camps. And we invite them to sign up for the Scrabble curriculum and take part in that. So you can get in contact with Caroline about getting the materials for that, for best practices for actually conducting those in a socially distant and hygienic way. And I'll say the same thing goes for debate programming, is that all the activities that you can do virtually are the same that you can do 6 feet away from someone with a mask on as well.
I would chime in that chess is also something that can be done in person. It's a little bit maybe something more to think about because of the physical distance involved with the chessboard, but instruction can kind of still happen, and chess can still be played with camps and clubs that are doing stuff that's in person throughout the summer as well.
Yeah, I would encourage everyone who's interested in that just to reach out to me and Martin and Caroline about how they be able to do that. What resources can we share with them? We want to make it that as accessible as possible for everyone involved.
Yes.
And so Caroline is advertising here a training. She's had a lot of virtual trainings ever since the stay-at-home order this past spring, and they've been really successful. They've had great participation. The celebrity Johnny Scrabble often shows up and leads the training as well. So on June 30th, there's going to be a sort of first level Scrabble 101 training for new coaches who want a refresher.
This is great. We did site visits yesterday with different recreation centers, and they're also preparing to open up for the summer camps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm just, as you're speaking, I'm thinking about passing this information to them as well, since you provide all the curriculum and, all the everything you need pretty much. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, chess, debate, and drama as well have folders in that Google Drive. So you can also peruse, our vast array of different activities and different curriculum activities that you can use. You can just follow the instructions on your own and conduct them with your students.
This is incredible. I mean, seriously, I was writing a lot of different information that you all shared. I'm curious, do you have how many students can register for the camp online? Is there like a limit to how many students for each program?
Well, I can say for debate, I can't really foresee a limit. We typically had a camp of like 35 to 40 students, which was in person. But I think we have a lot more capacity now that everything's going to be online virtually. So we encourage as many people to sign up as possible. It's the silver lining of the virtual program.
That's incredible.
I would say the same thing for chess. In-person context, we've had around 50 girls that came out to the camp. But with everything being virtual, it kind of opens things up a little more. So we don't necessarily have a hard limit, and it's something that we can expand out, and build more capacity if we need to, just depending on what the demand is.
And anyone who's interested in Scrabble, I would encourage to reach out to Caroline. She can connect you to a club that's running that curriculum, or you can sort of find ways to run on your own.
Yeah.
We also have put Caroline's information in the comment section. When is the last day to register for the camp? Is there a deadline?
Martin, you want to start?
Yeah. So because chess is going to be doing it once a week, as long as somebody would be in contact with us the Wednesday before the camp is supposed to take place, that would be fantastic. But because it's going to be one week at a time, ongoing through the summer, students can join as we continue to go through the camp. So if it's mid-July and they're just finding out about it and they still want to join, they're more than welcome to join us. But just because of the logistics of getting everyone signed up and registered and get the link to them, the Wednesday before the camp date would be great.
And I would say that for debate, we'll have sort of a soft deadline, July 10th, where we might have a waiting list after that. But of course, if you don't hear about this until after July 10th, I would encourage you to reach out. I'm sure we'll still have a way to fit in your students. Sort of aim for that mid-July, and they'll be ready to go by late July.
This is incredible. I know about your organization, but I'm highly impressed with your approach to virtual learning, which I think a lot of people are doing with summer camps that's happening. And this seems very fun and engaging. And I was like, can I sign up the whole time?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, this is incredible. And I look forward to hearing more about just the success of the summer, because you're providing so many, and it's free, which is incredible. So we'll make sure that we share within our network about the summer programming, but definitely with some of the recreation centers to look into what you provide as well, and to reach out to you if they're interested in any of them. They can also pass this information to the students that they serve.
Great. Thank you, Lula.
Yeah,
of course. Is there anything else? I know you just told me all this great information about the summer. Do you have any plans for the fall, or are you just trying to get through the summer and then you just like give us time?
For ASAP, I know we're looking into restarting our events and finding virtual ways to do that. So I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a fun new innovation. Look forward to some virtual events from ASAP this fall.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would agree. We're looking at, it's hard to say what exactly everything will be in 2 months. So we're looking at a lot of different scenarios to kind of be ready to go with whatever the world looks like, come the school year.
That's a great point. We have put all of your information from your website, your contact information, email, everything in our comment section. So if you just joined us toward the end of this discussion, no worries. This is recorded, so it'll live on our YouTube page, but also if you are on Facebook, and this will also live on our Facebook page as well. So you can reshare it, you can email it, you can tag people who are looking into summer programming or summer camp for their kids. This is an incredible resource. I'm so grateful for you, RJ and Martin, for joining us today, taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you had a staff meeting, you had to jump into another virtual discussion, so it really means a lot. And we'll do our best to share all of the resources that you shared with us today, so more and more kids are aware of what exists, which is incredible.
Yeah, thank you, Lula. Really appreciate this opportunity.
Yes, thank you for having us.
And thank you everyone for watching. And we'll come back next Thursday. All right. Have a good one.
Take care.